Thank you all for joining. I think you all can hear me. For those who don't have their screen on, if you could turn your screen on, just give me thumbs up that you're in the room, that you're in the room, that you're in the room. And you are in the room, my man. I really appreciate you. Yep, thumbs up, thumbs up. Let y'all know that I'm live and let you know I'm live. I got thumbs up myself. I'm excited, man, to give out this information to you as well. Looking forward to a lot of the information that we're going to be providing for you. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. That's good. That's good. I see you got some comments in there. Please make sure you put in this in the chat box. If you are needing help with child support, you can just push CS, child support. If you're here in reference to back child support, you can put BS, not the other BS, but the BS, back child support, okay, or arrears. If you know the amount for your back child support, put that in there in the screen as well. If they say whatever they are saying, because that's what we have to address, is what they're saying. And we'll know about what you need to say as well. Now, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to introduce the company to you. My assistant, Tawana, I want to thank her for joining us tonight as well. I know many of you have spoken with her, and so you're probably going to be dealing with her as well. So treat her good, treat her right. And I'm sure she's going to help me get those people that's on the waiting list put in here as well, because we have a short minimum of time here. We may not be able to get to everyone, but again, I appreciate you all for joining. By the way, how did you hear about Friends of Fathers? Just put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. You can say through social media, Facebook, FB, or whatever. Just let us know, how did you hear about Friends of Fathers? Friends of Fathers. That's important to us as well. We're going to get started in just one moment here. Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm going to make sure that I talk to 3 or 4 of you guys at the end of this presentation. It's about 30 so people here. I've also got Facebook going on as well. So we don't want to, I won't be able to talk to everyone at the same time. So again, that's why we want you guys to be able to use that chat. And we are recording. So the ones that are here will get a copy of the playback. Okay. So you're going to get a replay of this, because you may not be able to comprehend all of this at one time. So we're going to make sure that you are able to get the replay, and you should get that within the next 48 hours. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Some of you probably are familiar with Friends of Fathers. Friends of Fathers here, basically our motto is about strengthening men and empowering fathers. And we say strengthening men because some fathers are, you've gone through this child support system, or you began to go through it, and it seems like you're getting beaten down. But you're strong, but you need to be strengthened by our methods of educating and advocating and providing resource services, which we'll talk about, and empowering you to be fathers. Some of you on the call are first-time fathers. So, you're not used to going through the child support system, not understanding why you got to do it. You think that it's the mother, but sometimes, guys, it's a number of different things, the reasons why you're going through the child support system. And that's because, hey, they do have a system, and on top of it, they have the state assistance, and that's the number one reason why a lot of this is occurring. So we're going to make sure that you understand that, because sometimes, man, I have fathers who get upset with the mothers because they basically put them on child support. Well, they put them on child support because they own state assistance. So we'll talk about that as well. So right now, guys, my title here is the informational webinar, Navigating Through the Child Support Systems and Surviving and Thriving in the Difficult Economical Times. Believe you me, you can thrive through this. You can still make a way through your life and the economics that we're in with this inflation that we're facing. So with that, let's move here to the next one. My name is Joe Farley. I am the CEO and the principal life coach at Friends of Fathers. And that's who I am. Some of you guys know who I am through my Facebook channel. Now, let me explain something to you. Right now, thank God, man. Right now, Friend of the Court will allow you to basically, they will allow you to do your hearings via the Zoom. So that's why I'm using this system, because you're going to need to know how to manipulate this system so that it can benefit you for your hearings. They might even ask you, I want to be able to see where you are, because when you go to court, you can't have everyone with you. Okay. Can't have the children present. Okay. So you want to make sure you're in a room by yourself, doors closed, and any television or any social media, turn them off, because it'll slow down the system. And that's most important, because if you get disconnected, then they can basically just, dismiss your case, and you have to file it over again. And make sure you dress appropriate when you're basically going on the Zoom camera as well. You want to make sure that your cell phone is silenced. Let me make sure I check mine as well. Yep, I do have it off. And you want to make sure that the door is closed so you can give yourself some privacy and create some, for this meeting here, we're going to discover some things, hopefully, that you can take notes for. I want to know in the chat box, you can put Y for yes, N for no. If this is your first time attending a child support webinar, okay, first time. If you have, put yes. If you haven't, put no. I want to make sure you're in the right place, because it's a waste of your time if you're not here and you can't get the help that you need. So the areas that we're going to be talking about is child support payments, back child support payments, and that's for any adult children as well as for minor children, and any bench warrants, okay? Because you get child support bench warrants, man. If you are called to court, or you basically send a letter out saying that they're summoning you to court for a show cause, which is the number one way that you can get locked up if you don't go to court when you're told, when you ask. You get a bench warrant and get put on you, and all of a sudden now you got a bench warrant, they come and get you at your job or at your home or in some embarrassing places. I've been when they have had people get arrested in church. I mean, the police officers are waiting like you some kind of big old crime dealer or something, and all of a sudden you get locked up after church. That happened at my church several years ago. Okay, so I know this stuff is real. And want to make sure if you're here for custody or parenting time or any FOC issues, okay? Friends of Fathers has been around since 2007, nearly 16 years, man. And we've been helping many fathers to address these particular issues. So what do? What do Friends of Fathers do? Who are we? Well, Friends of Fathers is a virtual coaching and educational company where we basically assist families and fathers on navigating through the child support system and the friend of the court system. Hey, guys, I don't know if you know this, but it's two different systems that you're dealing with. You're dealing with the child support. That's where they basically put all the rules together about the child support system. The other one is the friend of the court. They're the police. They're the ones who are enforcing those rules that the federal child support system have put together. So all across the land, and guys, believe me, I've had experience with Hawaii, Canada. I didn't do any business in South Africa, but I've read up on their information as well. I mean, this is all over the world, okay? So this child support system, man, is crazy. And sometimes it really puts us in a mental and an emotional bad way. So that's why our motto is about strengthening men and empowering fathers. So as the model just stated, and what our mission is to educate you, okay? We want to make sure that we are educating you on how to navigate through the child support system. I'm not an attorney, so I basically educate you, because you can do this on your own, especially if you don't have the money to hire an attorney, okay? Some people hire an attorney and they say, man, I could have did that. Or they hire an attorney and they didn't get the services that they needed. Again, you have to understand what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And that's why we educate you through the process. Let me point something out. I really want to remind you of this. And I got this just being honest, man. I was praying and reading some scripture this past week. And what I remember is this: when I'm going through these child support systems, sometimes guys end up, just because they pay you something, they think tomorrow they can resolve it. It doesn't work that way. And that's why I like to do my plan of action, my coaching sessions, so I can understand where you're coming from. Okay. Because if that's what you're trying to pay me for, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work. I don't even want your money. Okay, because it's not about money, it's about results. Results. So you're gonna get educated. We're gonna be on your side. That's the advocate part. And we're going to provide some different resource services to help enhance the quality of life for the father in his home and also in his community. And what I mean by different resources, sometimes you may just have to file some information from the Michigan unemployment system, or you might have to do one thing that one of my first clients that I had years ago. He had to basically subpoena the hospital, subpoena the friend of the court, subpoena the attorney to get all these records to make sure that they're telling the truth. And guess what? They told this man that he owed $15,000 in medical expenses, and he did not have it. And the court ended up giving him a piece of paper, literally a piece of paper written on there, signed by that particular attorney at that time, or the prosecutor attorney, saying $15,000 owed to the friend of the court for a child that was born 12 years ago at the time. The judge saw that information. This young man, with him stuttering as he speaks, that's just how he speaks, unfortunately for him. But it was very fortunate because he was able to address those particular issues, and they gave him the credit off of him of $15,000, and that case was closed down. So I just want to just let you guys know, man, this stuff is real. And these are things that I've learned how to help fathers to navigate through the child support system. So our vision, when you're finished with our company, you're going to be able to enable yourself to be more self-sufficient. You can do this on your own. Okay. 85% of those cases with a friend of the court are done by the individuals coming and showing up and getting results. They may not get the best results, but they are getting some results. And most importantly, they're not being put in jail. Okay. And we help you to become self-sufficient and supportive to your children and family. Because when we say children and family, because some fathers have more than one child by more than one woman. Okay. It's just like, you can name anybody out here today. They have more than one child by more than one mother. And that's the same thing in the Bible. Jacob in the Bible is the same way, if you know your word. So I'm just saying, don't feel bad about it. Children are blessings. Okay. But some of them kids may not have been yours. So you might want to deal with that. And I can help you with that too. All right. So the typical barriers that most of our clients have had are the following. Man, these attorney fees are too dang on high, man. It's $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. And I can't afford it. So that's why I'm coming to Friends of Fathers. Or I have trouble basically trusting anybody with my information because I don't know who anyone is when I give them information about me. They could be working for the friend of the court. Believe you me, Friends of Fathers, Joe Farley, have had that problem in the beginning. Thank God for good reputation, and people begin to trust who we are because they couldn't believe there's a program or a company that can help fathers. Yes, sir, there is, and Friends of Fathers is it. Also, the barriers that they have is that I don't want to deal with this, man. I might end up in jail. Okay. I'm intimidated by the court process. The black robe syndrome. It seems like I can't even get a word in edgewise when I go to court. And these motions, man, I know I filled it out right, but it gets confusing. So with Friends of Fathers, we educate you on all of that. Now, some specific problems that some of our clients have had is that child support takes too much of my money. I have a client right now that's on Social Security, okay, and they're trying to get $1,200 out of his Social Security check, and he only gets $994. So, but what they can do and what they have done is gone and taken up to 50% of his income. This is an order, guys, that the friend of the court, remember, those are the police people, that's the judge, they enforce the rules. The rule is that if you're behind, they can take up to 50% of your income. If you're 2 payments behind, okay, they can take up to 50% of your income. Now, what you want to remember is that if that's the amount that I have in back child support, you should be able to get a modification on those arrears, okay? And I'm gonna have you write this down real quick. Write this down or remember it, but you might want to write it down. When you're filing your motion, this is a free helpful hidden tip. When you're filing your motion to change financial status, what you want to say is this: FOC, please charge me according to my current ability to pay. My current ability to pay. Now, 2020, 2021, even portions of 2022, your income, your ability to pay changed. And that's when you're supposed to have filed a motion to reduce the child support. Okay. So you want to make sure when you file in a motion, you want to remember that, but you got to prove it. Okay. And there's multiple different ways. There's multiple ways that you can prove it. And I coach you on educating you through that process. The other one is this: I can't live or pay my own bills. How can I pay the child support? The mother won't even let me see my kids. Why should I pay for children that I can't even see? Fear of going to jail. That's one of the number one reasons right there. And those bench warrants, man, it's like I walk the street. I can't even do anything. This happened to me one particular time. I can't remember. It's about maybe 2000. I started the company in 2007. It was probably 2009 or 10. I'm very much involved with church, and one of my guys from church, he had just came home from jail, from prison, and he ran into me at the car wash, and I was headed to go fishing, man, the next day. And I said, man, you want to, go fishing with me? He said, yeah, man, I ain't been fishing all my life, man, since I was a little boy. I said, man, yeah, I do that. So let's go fishing. We went fishing. We happened to, unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, we were going fishing on an area that you can't trespass. But man, they had largemouth bass, baby. I was knocking them out left and right. Man, that was the best fishing day of his life and mine. But as we were coming back from that fishing hole, I saw the police siren, and they were by my car, which I parked in the bushes. Yep. I got a ticket. So I don't care who's listening. I got a ticket for it, whatever. Okay. So, but my man, he was like, dang, man, that's the police, man. I got a bench warrant, man. I know I got a bench warrant. No, matter of fact, he didn't say that. He didn't say anything. He said, dang, police. I'm like, yeah, man, just throw your fish in the bushes. So we threw the fishes in the bushes, and the police said, did y'all catch anything? I said, no, we ain't catch nothing. And he says, whose car is this? And I said, it's my father's car. Our names is the same or whatever. Or give me your ID. So we gave him the ID and everything. And bottom line is, my man had 2 bench warrants on him for 2 different counties on the child support, and they detained him. Now, I'm always fine checking with the police because my stuff is in order. So I said, sir, I have that AAA insurance, and can you just let my man go, and y'all can just charge my AAA insurance for it? And they said, no, we got to detain him, and they locked him up. So you always want to make sure that you're taking care of those bench warrants, and it's a very simple way. Helpful hint number 2: when you address the bench warrant, you want to go down to the friend of the court or file a motion, which I believe is the better way. File a motion and basically explain why you didn't go to the show cause. So show cause, the bench warrant is given because you get a show cause, and you didn't show up at the show cause, at that court hearing. So you want to make sure that you address that by filing a motion, telling the reason why you didn't come to court on that particular time, blah, blah, blah. And then you also want to bring some money, okay? Because that's what they want. Now, they might say you owe $6,000 or they want you to bring it in. They know you can't bring that in. However, you should at least bring 1 month's payment of the child support, especially if you have a job. If you don't have a job, you want to bring some money. We've had guys who brought $20, $15, anything, okay? Because you want to address that issue. So don't get a bench warrant by just make sure you do your show cause. And when you go to show cause, you got to tell them the reason why you were not able to pay what they've been asking you to pay, okay? And the other one is freezing of your bank account. A lot of guys, I mean, I just had another case just last week, 20-some thousand dollars he had in the bank from a lawsuit, and they took it. They took it. There are so many things that we are doing that's not right. When you get that kind of money, okay, you get a lawsuit or a big lump sum or back pay from unemployment or Social Security disability, you want to keep that money and really pull it out, okay? Open up a business account. Put in your business account name so it's not falling. It's a number of different things you can do to keep them from getting it so fast, okay? Because put it in the bank account with your Social Security number on it, man, that's going to have, they got the right to go and get your money. So we don't want to do that. Now, why do our clients have these kind of problems? Well, because they're unemployed. That's why they can't pay their child support. That's why they can't pay their back child support. They got low paying jobs or they're unemployed. And also issue with the parenting time, the mother always interfere. Like, oh, I ain't gonna let you see little Sally, little Junior, because you ain't paying me no child support. But did you know, just because you're behind in child support doesn't mean that the child can't see the other parent. You can still get your parenting time. Not because you're supposed to see your child. This is like you don't pay to see your child. You have a parental right to see your child. So don't let that interfere with you. And then you give her money on the street or giving her money when she drops a kid off. Don't do that. If you want to give her some money, make sure she signed a letter saying that she's going to knock off $1,000 or something. Okay, because she probably wants some money because she needs it and you ain't paid in a while. Yeah, that's true. But don't give her money because it's not going to be counted towards the friend of the court. So you want to make sure the friend of the court is involved. Always make sure. Don't ever give her money directly. I don't care how nice your relationship is. Make sure you get a credit on your child support. And also, a lot of people say, you won't pay child support. No, it's not that I won't pay. I just can't. I don't have the money to pay FOC. And a lot of us, we have what they call a default order. That means that when you started the case, you did not come to the court hearing. So therefore, you didn't show up, you defaulted. And now she has sole physical and sole legal custody of your child. The information that she said that you make for income, she lied about. Okay, now you're being charged $500 a month when you didn't even make that kind of money on a monthly basis. And besides, you also have another child. Another helpful hint and tip, guys. If you have a child support case with one mom, and now you're in this new relationship, you can also get a modification because your financial circumstance has changed. And that is, I have a newborn or I have another child by another woman. So if that child is biologically yours and you can prove it, then they have to give you a modification in that child support amount. Okay, so make sure you remember that. So some of these pain points and desires that some of these fathers are having is that, I don't want to go to jail, man. Every time I get a job, they take 50% or more of my paycheck, or I don't have enough money to pay my own bills. Okay, I can't buy a car in my name, or I can't get my tax refund. Let me ask anybody in the chat real quick. Have you gotten your tax refunds lately? How about this? Even on the first stimulus check in 2020, when the government gave us $1,200 for every American, every person, okay? Every person, $1,200. But when it came to our money for fathers that owe back child support, they took that money and applied it to the child support. And some of that money, guys, went right back to the state because the mother wasn't getting the money because she was on state assistance. Okay, so you want to make sure you know these processes, man, so you can interrupt them from basically hurting you on what you're doing for child support. The other desires is that when they're finished going through friends and fathers, man, they say, man, no more child support bench warrants, no more money in my paycheck. I'm able to pay my bills, buy a car, do my taxes, get my stimulus check, which I got both of mine, praise the Lord. And I say that truthfully and honestly. I've owned this company and started this company in 2007. I didn't get finished with my, I think it was $3,900 and back child support. I was being stubborn. I didn't resolve this until like 2013 or 15. I just decided I'm going to pay it off. But what that did for me, guys, it messed up my credit score. It also stopped me from getting my passport. Okay. So we want to stop being so angry about the system and find out how to resolve this issue. And I was fortunate enough, after many years of my ex-wife, cussing me out, dogging me and everything, make me want to reach through the phone and choke her. I ain't trying to through no death threats, whoever listening. But my point of that's how I felt. Okay. And then one year I decided I'm going to offer her $1,500. And will she basically forgive the debt? And she did, but she act like, oh, I didn't even know you still owe that money. I thought I never gotten anything. You didn't get nothing because I ain't paying nothing in it. But I did resolve that issue. And sometimes, guys, you just got to kind of bite the bullet on that. Okay. So I did it. Thank God, because I was embarrassed because here I'm helping you guys and I didn't even address the issue myself because I was embarrassed and I didn't want to deal with her. And I gave her $25 every now and again through the child support system, though. Okay. And I got my credit score up and my passport. And by the way, my current wife was telling me, Joseph just paid the money off. I'm like, you crying about I ain't making enough money. So why would I give up some money? So I finally got it done. Just personal insight here. Now, why do clients want to see a change? Well, they want to be, when it comes to parenting time, they want to be involved in their children's lives. You know, they need to make decisions and they need decision ability with their minor children. Like in reference to, I want to make decisions on what school they go to. You got the child going way out here to a private school, which nor you and I can't afford, but you telling them I can. Okay. I want to make that decision. Also, you're talking about health issues that I need to be involved with, and the religion and the spirituality of the development of the child. I need to be involved with that. So, but when you do a default, guys, you don't have those authorities to even do that. You don't have the rights. You got to file a motion to change it. And you got to give them a good reason. That's crazy. Having a good reason to tell them I should be daddy. Okay. So also my fathers have said, man, I feel like a man again. I get respect now because sometimes the grandmothers of the children, they basically disrespect you. Aunties and every family member be talking about the father. That ain't cool. And also now, because you're going through this, our services, you get more money back in your paycheck and you can buy stuff for yourself and your girlfriend or your wife or your children. And now I have money left over from my paycheck. And that's what we're working for, to get money left over so we can do some things. So what is Friends of Fathers going to do for you? We're going to educate you on that FOC, the friend of the court system, and the child support system. We're going to teach you how to address your parenting time, how to lower your child support payments, how to teach you how to reduce or eliminate your back child support or eliminate the whole balance. I've had fathers who had $100,000. We showed them how to get a payment plan of $25 for 2 years, which is a total of $600. And he paid it off sooner than 2 years, and no more bank interceptions, no levies, no bench warrants. And on top of it, he ain't got to worry about this no more, about them taking money out of his check when he get a job. Okay. And we help you feel free and alive again and get back your dignity, because you are a man and you do take care of your kids. Unfortunately, the court don't know it. So why do we need FOF? Why do you need our company and our services? It's a lack of understanding the FOC and the child support system. It's threats going to jail. It's also the loss of jobs. I've had guys who will get arrested, okay, on a bench warrant, get detained, and 3 days, man, no show, you lose out on your job. You can get terminated, okay? And some of this stuff is turned into a felony, non-support, Okay, that means that if you owe $10,000 or more in back child support and that child is under the age of 21, they would actually, they can, and you haven't been paying, and they find that you had some resources to pay, but you didn't pay, you'll go over to Frank Murphy. And a lot of us from Wayne County, we know what Frank Murphy is. That's where they take care of felonies, okay? Criminal. So we don't want to put you in that position. So you want to make sure you get yourself away from that. And also, guys, some of the service that you need help on is creating a co-parenting plan. Another helpful hint and tip, let me make sure you know this, create a co-parenting plan. When should you have the child with you overnight? Not picking up the child every day from school and then the mother picks the child up in the evening time. No, you need some overtime. And I don't know if you know the division of this, but 365 days is 182.5. And that's what you want to get for your parenting time. And on top of it, if the mother's working, okay, and you working, when y'all both are working, somebody's watching the child. So they can't say, well, you can't have the child, sir, because you got a job. Well, she has a job too. And if she doesn't have a job, she should have a job. That also helps reduce the child support amount that I pay because she has physical custody. Did you know that? The more overnights you have, the less you pay in child support. That's not trying to cheat of not paying child support. It's only fair. If I got the child and you have the child, on the days that I have the child, I should be paying you fees for the child to have a roof over their head and clothes and food. When they're with me, I need those same things. That's why the court has come up with a system. If you have a co-parenting plan, those overnights are credited to you. Therefore, you pay less for child support. And by the way, all these women out here who have the hair, doing their hairs and nails in their own, they have their own business, doing hair or doing nails or whatever kind of business they have. You can make sure that you report that to help reduce or increase what she has and reduce what you're supposed to pay. Because if you had multiple income streams, they're looking at all of that. So you want to make sure that you have all of those things figured out. Don't be afraid of not telling them that, this woman has these things. Why would you want FOF services? Well, you want to understand, because FOF understands what a father goes through. I just mentioned some of my own personal testimony. Also, FOF can help reduce your child support monthly payments and help you address bench warrants and get your kids back. Some of us don't even know where our children are, but they're charging us child support. We want to address those particular issues. So what will motivate you? Well, the desire to see my children without the mother interfering. I mean, can you imagine you and your new girl, she got her kids and y'all want to go to the park together or go on a trip together, but the mother keeps interfering with that. No, you want to be able to do this on your own. And you want to be part of the decision-making in reference to the decision-making process of the education system, the spiritual development, and the health of your child. You need to know when something happens to your child. She needs to be calling you first, okay? Also, you want to have someone to talk to about your child support issue, and that's what we do. And also, by dealing with us, you're going to have an end date to this child support issues of life. It's going to come to an end. Some guys are paying child support well into their 60s, guys. Okay, I had a guy 68 years old. They're taking money out of his Social Security check. That ain't cool. So we want to deal with some of this stuff before it gets too late with you. So all of our services that we offer is through a virtual coaching session webinars, similar to this, but more so we'll show you how to fill in the motion forms, what you're going to say, all of that. We have a method of dealing with that. We're going to show you how to deal with that. And the virtual coaching webinar is basically where we're providing coaching and training webinars for biological and legally identified fathers. That's a little word there, legally identified. I've had fathers who have been legally identified as the father, but was not the father, and they needed to address the issues. We've had a couple of cases where both of them was well into $20,000 that they've been swearing to everybody when they go to court, this is not my child, this is not my child, this is not my child. And the mother kept them on the hook. Why? Because they had a decent job. we have helped fathers eliminate the back child support and get money back from child support that they paid on the case, that they show proof that it wasn't their child. And that's important. Okay. So we want to help you address these life issues and make sure that you are making sure that you get a payment reduction where you need to be and to modify the child support properly. And we do that through this, your Plan of Action webinar. Plan of Action webinar, we host them twice a month. Okay. That's going to design what you need to, what is going to, we're going to find out what is it that you need help with. Like, for instance, if it needs some modification for child support, if you need arrears discharge, or even getting your parent in time of custody, and some for divorces, okay, and to establish cases. Some of us have a child that we know is ours, so we want to start the case because now the mother's not allowing us to see the child. Well, you can't enforce anything that you don't have an order for, so we show you how to do that. So that's not necessarily through our plan of action, it's through another service that we offer. So if some of you are in need of starting the case, that's a little bit different. We still can help you with that as well. And the information part of the webinar, the plan of action webinar, is going to be where you can help prepare the motion. That's the whole key. In order to do any changes, you have to motion the court. You got to motion them. And the way you do that is preparing the right motion and the other documentation to support that particular motion that you're filing. And there's motions for child support reduction, back child support, which is our arrears, parenting time, custody, parenting time enforcement. So we want to make sure that you're filling out the right thing for what you need to do to address your particular issue. And that comes through the plan of action. Now, I will tell you this, with the plan of action, it's really creative, whereas we'll sit down with you, we'll do this private session just like this, and the people that's in the webinar will have the similarity issue, okay? But it's going to be the information that you need to put on the motion, okay? However, we also have it where you can, the next day or the next meeting will be where you're preparing the motion so that the motion is correct and you can get it filed. We do all of that with you. So from A to Z, we're with you all the way through, even if you have an area where you don't agree with the findings of the friend of the court recommendation. But you can object, guys, and there's a process. This is a process. It doesn't go any faster. It is a process, and it can take you from sometimes it really just depends. I've taken care of people within 1 week, sometimes in 1 day, but that's not the typical issue. Okay. But you have a process, and we can talk to you about that if you decide you want to do the motion completion webinar. Now, the most important thing is that creating the plan of action webinar. That's where you have everything that I just mentioned, a written 1, 2, 3 step on what you need to say and how you need to say it, and specifically what motion you're going to file, the specific information that's written on the motion. That's what it is in the kit and caboodle. All of that's going to be together. Also, again, you have the motion completion webinar. Now, that's 2 different things. You have the plan of action webinar because we need to assess it to know if you're doing the right thing and to know what you say you want is the proper thing. Some of you might be on the call and might say, this is the motion I need to fill out because they said it. Okay. Some of the guys who have come to me in the way in the past, I would help them with it. And then they end up still having a bill. Why? Because they didn't allow me to assess the child support cases that they currently have. So we want to make sure that they basically get everything that's necessarily done for you on your motion completion webinar. Okay. So you really want to make sure that you go through that particular process. Okay. So we want to make sure we help you with that by doing the motion completion webinar and the plan of action. So we're going to talk about that. Here we are. Motion completion webinars are the arrears to discharge and abate. Remember I was telling you about the guy that had the $99,000 in back child support? He got a payment plan for $25 for 24 months. So we want to make sure that you're doing the right one, because you might have a payment plan or arrears back child support for a mother. And if she don't want to forgive it, guys, She don't have to. But the child support arrears payments are so doggone high, they take it up to 50% of your income. And there's ways to reduce that. I got a client right now. They were charging him. I think I told you earlier, they were trying to get 1,200, but they end up taking up to 50% of his income, which was close to $500 a month. But right now, we got it down to $123, $24. Okay, so per month instead of the 500. Now he has a little bit more extra money left over. Okay. Also, to change of custody. Some fathers have their child living with them, but they're still on child support. And we want to make sure that if that's the case, we need to flip the case. And if you don't want to flip it, at least if you owe back child support, we want to get that money forgiven. And we show you how to do that when you're changing your custody. And of course, parenting time. Remember I said overnights is what you want to have because that'll help reduce your child support payments. And we also want to modify the child support payments because you used to have a job making $30, $40 an hour, and now you make a minimum wage or $15 an hour. So they need to modify that. That's a financial change of circumstance. Okay, financial change of circumstance. Please charge me according to my current ability to pay. And there are some steps you got to take to get that in place, and we coach you through that. Also, we have coaching sessions where we basically will put you in where we'll basically show you how to go through the process of going to court. A lot of guys just, when you go to court, you get afraid. They basically, you don't know what to say, and you get there and you start stumbling your words. Well, on the motion completion webinar, we show you how to have 1, 2, 3 step on what you need to say. Just read it verbatim. You will have time to rehearse what you need to rehearse for that particular hearing. That's the worst thing to do is go and you're not prepared. So we show you how to do that with our coaching session and role play. Okay, we do that in individuals and group settings. And also the first thing, we got to make sure you don't have a bench warrant. Got to make sure you have a bench warrant. So we address that issue and documentation preparation for filing that motion. So these are the things that we actually help you with. So real quick, go to some real life testimonies of guys. This is a guy with custody and parenting time. This young man, basically, he didn't have a child support case at all, but that was his daughter. The mother knew. They had a one-night stand. They didn't have no relationship. They were in college, had this beautiful little girl, and all of a sudden, at the age of this kid here, I think she was about 6 years old. After being with the child like every other week, the mother calls him up and saying, next week will be your last week with our daughter because my job is moving to Tibet, which is a different country. And guess what, guys? This was just a one-night stand, no birth certificate. His name is not on it. But both the mother and the father knew that this was his child, but she had all the authority. So he rushed to me and we coached him through that process, and he ended up getting 50% custody, 185.2 days. Okay. And over probably about the next year or two, I think it was a year, the woman changed jobs and came back to the United States, and he remained having 50% custody of his son, of his daughter. So it's important that you put the right things in place. Don't let yourself go up for a default. Always show up, especially if it's in the beginning of a case. You have no fear. They can't lock you up in the beginning, so you might as well just show up. Here's a gentleman with back child support. $50,000 in back child support. Got a payment plan for $25 for 2 years, $600. He paid for it in 3 months, and they closed and discharged the case. Now it's not on his credit report. You don't have bench warrants anymore. Now he can get his passport, and most important, his credit score was increased, so he was able to go in to start a business. This gentleman had 3 or 4 different cases with multiple moms, over $200,000. We showed him how to get it down to $20,000, and some of those cases were closed out because of what he qualified at the time. So I just want to let you guys know we are here to help the fathers to address these life issues. So with all of this information that you have, it's time for you guys to decide. I know you came for this informational session so that you can get information about how to go through addressing your life issues when it comes to child support. And Friends of Fathers has been here nearly 16 years. In July, to be 16 years, and I'm looking forward to help you. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how to register and pay for services. But before I do that, I'm going to check and let me actually stop my screen share. We got a couple people that I wanted to make sure we ask questions for. And Tawana, you want to start off with the individuals that you want to see here, people that's on the screen? Choose anybody. And what I want to know, guys, first of all, if we'll unmute you, but what I want to know is, how did you find out about Friends of Fathers? And what county is your case in? And what is it that you're trying to address? I don't want the story. I want to know, bottom line, what do you want done today? Okay. Tawana, you want to start me out?
Sure. Okay, you all have the option to unmute yourself. The first question that I noticed was from Quentin Wilson. And his question is, what if he's not on the birth certificate and still paying?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Quentin, if you want to unmute yourself. I know you're at work.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, Quentin, how did you find out about Friends of Fathers?
Facebook, and then my second child's mother, she told me about it.
Okay, okay, great. Now, is this for a minor? So it is for a minor child. How old is the child?
You said what?
How old is it? Is the child?
3 years old.
Okay, all right, good. And you can mute yourself. So basically, you want to know how to address the issue. Now, have you found out if the child is yours or not?
I know for 100% sure that he's mine, but I didn't take a DNA test or nothing like that, but I do know that he's mine.
Okay. So you do know it's yours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. All right. So basically, first thing that's going to happen is this. Once we, in this assessment, we're going to find out, you want to do it if you want to do it DNA, but if your name is not on a birth certificate and you want to put your name on a birth certificate, you do go through the process. The other thing is, we want to make sure that you're charged properly for the child support. Okay. So we want to make sure that the mother, if she is okay, are you okay with child support, or you need parenting time? Okay, there you go. Are you still on mute?
Oh,
Unmute him.
that's Quentin.
Yeah, he's going to unmute himself.
Huh?
There you go.
Yeah, I said that I'm not okay with the child support off the simple fact I'm paying $1,000 a month for one child and he's 3. But I need parenting time or anything like that. I'm willing to get, because I haven't seen him since he's 3. I've never had him over 24 hours, not even 3 hours.
Okay, so so you need to change the order. Okay, thank you for that. And we're going to make sure that we show you what you need to do next. Let me go to Mr. Boyd, is it? Mr. Boyd.
Okay.
All right. How did you find out about Friends of Fathers?
Facebook post that was shared.
Okay, good, good. So Facebook works. Facebook works. And what area are you in need of help for?
Wayne County. Oh, you mean the location or the subject?
Yeah, the subject and the location is Wayne County. Got you. Thank you.
Yeah, Wayne County. And I'm just looking for help with a parenting time. There's no child support case. I'm just looking to get 50-50 joint and legal custody of my 4-year-old daughter, soon to be 5.
Okay, good. When will she be 5? Is it a month or so?
Yeah, about 2. Yeah, about another month now, because it's March 10th.
Okay,
So about another month.
okay, great. And so you look for parenting time, the child support amount, how's that? Is that okay?
I don't pay child support. Me and mom co-parent. You know, we live about 5 minutes apart. You know, we co-parent 50-50 everything, insurance, tuition at school. I get 2 overnights a week, but I'm just looking for more decision making, more ability to make more decisions. Some of my, and looking for more time. I've asked for, more than 2 nights, on several occasions. So I'm looking for more time and the ability to make more, just, be involved and make more decisions.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like your picture, your background. Okay. So that would be a good place to be for when you do your when you do your presentation before the court, because it shows that you're involved, is genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the number one thing that they're going to look at. And sometimes I've even had, because I'm also, guys, a paralegal, so I help a number of different attorneys go to court and prepare and coach the fathers. Okay, so you're getting firsthand experience without it having to be legal. Okay, I'm a father myself. The fathers and the lawyers that I have are, the majority of them are men. So, and they're the majority of the ones that really do our cases. If you decide that you want an attorney, and like I said, some of these things that you can do 100 by yourself, but they have asked for you to, okay, show me the room, show me food in the closet and, a cabinet or whatever. And you're able to do that. But all these things will be something you'll be prepped to do as well. Okay. We've had some women that's been on the call, and the men's place has been up to date where it needs to be and was successful in addressing these issues. And that's how we coach you properly. And I would tell you this, I would tell you all, you can file a motion if you want to. Okay. But the most effective motions are when you can prove a change of circumstances. You have to prove a change of circumstances. So why is it that you want more than 2 days? And why wasn't it done in the beginning? And I can kind of guess. Okay, I'm a guess, because in the beginning, maybe the case started. What age was the case? What age was the child when the case started?
Well, I mean, again, it's no case. I'm not on child support.
Okay.
Yeah, any of that. It's just the fact that, some of the decisions I want to be like the school, I wanted to be involved. She made the ultimate decision, which cost me more money for the tuition. I was trying to, so I just want to be involved with more decisions and get more time ultimately. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't pay anything for
Don't
child
have no
support.
case.
No case. Yeah.
Okay, just live in Wayne County. So you will be establishing the case. Okay. And again, the change of circumstance for you, it doesn't apply. It is just because you want to have it. However, I'll just tell you all this. If you don't have no case, be prepared to pay some type of child support. If you and her can come to an agreement, all you want to do is custody and parenting time, that's cool. You can do that. There's many cases out there like that. Okay. So that's kind of where I would want to coach you through, because you're not saying she's not asking for money. Okay. You paying her how you pay her, helping her where you can and where you do. So that's kind of what I see. You need to establish a custody case for parenting time in custody. And you want to basically do that. And that's something that can be coached between the both of you. I don't coach her because I'm on your side. Okay. I don't represent you because I'm not an attorney, but I know the steps you need to take to address that. And what I'm going to suggest, we're going to get to a part here in just a moment. We'll talk about how that really could work for you, because you don't really qualify for the plan of action. However, the plan of action is inclusive of case establishment. It's not much of a difference, but of services, not much of a difference. I'm glad I chose you there as well. So thank you. Hold on just a second. We're going to go right into another gentleman here. And I saw my man right here, Mr. Jason. Jason?
Yes.
All
yes.
right. How did you find out about Friends of Fathers?
A Facebook friend.
All right, good. So Facebook is working.
Yeah, yes.
All right, great. And what area of services are you looking for?
I've kept my son every day for like the past year, and my child's mother, she's really like unruly with
Mhm.
everything. When we agreed upon it, when I started keeping them, it was okay. You keep them 5 days a week, and I'll take you off child support. A whole year went past, and I still wasn't taken off of child support. I started a new job. When I started the new job and the money came off, I got kind of adamant about it. Like, okay, well, I'm not gonna keep picking him up from school every day and paying you money every day if he's staying with me.
Mhm. Is he
So
still
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
is he still with you now?
No, he's not with me now. Like we went to court last month on the 17th, and the referee really didn't listen to anything I had to say because I missed court dates, but I've never been informed. It's crazy because they emailed me when I filed the motion. They emailed me the date and the time, but they've never emailed me before when she went to go file the motion.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So now they're taking $212 out of my check every week. And when I tried to go fight for it, the judge was basically like pretty much like, since you haven't really been to any court dates, I'm not going to listen to anything you say.
Okay. Well, I would like to see that in writing, because everything that the judge does, it has to be in writing.
Transcript.
Well, the transcript is important to have. However, the order is important because that's what you're trying to change is the order. And
Okay.
what you're trying to do is go back to what you normally and what you and the child normally had.
Yes.
That's the key thing. You waited a long time though, and that's a challenge. But now, what is the parenting time? We have to get into that deeper. How often do you see your son, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the judge ordered that I keep him every other Sunday. And now that my child, because she's not used to keeping him like that much, so now she's texting my phone, pretty much saying like, "Oh, you want to come up with an agreement with me?" I said, "I don't want to come up with no agreement with you unless it's in front of a judge."
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we got to coach you on that because guys, I'm gonna tell you something about women. They fluctuate in their emotions. Okay, a lot of them do. Not every woman, but a lot of them do. So we want to catch them when they want to do something like that, and then we use it. It's a proper way of doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to suggest that, of course, the plan of action webinar that you will do that particular part of it, and you're going to need to file a motion. But it sounds like you went to court last month. Okay.
Yes.
So did the objection period pass?
No, I filed an appeal. My appeal date is this Monday coming up, the 13th.
Oh, on this Monday, it's coming up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Before you do anything with us, you want to, we're going to make sure you call us first. Okay. You need to call us like tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can move forward with you to help you do. It seems like you might have to modify your objection, but I don't know what you said. And I don't know what.
I
No,
asked him if I can prevent. Oh, I'm sorry.
hold on. No, because I can't go through that over the screen tonight. But that's what needs to happen. That's part of the plan of action. So you'll need that plan of action, and maybe you can what they call modify your answer,
Okay.
because you might have some time. At least put it together to present it. And there's a couple things I can see right now from just a small conversation that you need to address as well. So thank you for joining the call. Hold on just a second. Now, let's see who else we got. We did that one. And Mr. Brandon Reed, come on in, sir. You have a question for us?
Mr. Reed, if you can unmute.
Okay, I'm unmuted. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great.
Man, I've been hyped up about this meeting all week, or since Friday I called.
Wonderful.
So first of all, I want to commend you for helping us, the fathers, out. I'm got a bit of a knowledge to this because I've got a case in Oakland County that I got custody of my twin daughters in 2009. But I'm here calling for my son and for my son to basically I'm trying to get my parenting time to basically go with me and my baby mother. We had a agreement, a verbal agreement where I've been exchanging my son for 1 week on, 1 week off for years.
Okay.
talking
How old
about
is he?
years.
How old is your son now?
My son, he's this Friday he'll be 11.
Okay, all right. And what county is your case in?
Wayne County.
All right. And is there a child support case? Amount of money that you have to pay for child support?
I was once on child support. I got her a couple years ago. In the past, she went down there and she took me off child support.
Okay. So you're not charged anything. Do you have back child support?
No, I have no child support case pending going right
Okay.
now at all.
But you do have a case with the court on.
I do.
And it does speak to the custody and
Yes,
what you want to get changed.
correct.
Okay.
On paperwork, it shows that I'm a weekend dad, and I probably got a week, a date in the middle of the week or whatever. Something, you know how it starts off,
Mhm.
and then you got to work yourself on up.
Yep.
But I've right now. Well, let me fast forward a little bit because I was telling Tawana about a lot about when I called in. I have recently. My current situation is I filed a motion. We both went to court. We both. I was able to get her to go on record and say that yes, he has been getting them 1 week on, 1 week off for years. So I was happy that she didn't lie about that. That was the main thing I needed her to go on record and say that, so she don't switch that up.
Mhm.
So after we did that, I later on we went back through mediation to where they had us talk to.
I'm sorry. Hold on one second. When was the most recent time you went to court?
That was
Not in the last 6 months.
no, it was like November.
Oh,
Like yep, last yes.
okay.
It was just before the end of the year.
Okay, and they gave you an order.
Correct. Well, they gave me more proceedings, and that next proceeding was for us to meet with the mediator, and you know how you supposed to. Me and her come together and we discuss parenting time, and basically it was us finally agreeing to her saying, oh, because at first when we went there, she was saying that yeah, he been getting them for 1 week on, 1 week off for years, but I don't think it should continue. For what reason? You know,
that puts you.
You know how, huh?
That puts you into mediation because you're not in agreement.
Correct. So
you got to put everything together and provide them with the information. Okay. So, and do you have an upcoming court date?
no, and this is the thing though. When we went through the mediator, we left out with an agreement, and then I was supposed to. She told me that I would receive paperwork with basically what the order of the motion was, and then that we would go back before the court, and the judge basically slam the gavel on it and make it a motion.
Making an order.
Making an order, yeah.
So what's happening is that didn't happen yet, and you really don't know what's going on at this particular time, and you've been waiting for something.
That's where I was, but then the lady, one of the clerks called me, and the crazy thing is I've got the same exact deal. I got a baby girl too, so I did 2 motions at the same time, doing the exact same thing with Wayne County. Okay. My baby girl's motion, everything went all the way through. So I got a order for her, but my son, the clerk called me saying that I need to get a lawyer to file the correct paperwork to make this stick. I'm not understanding why that happened, and it got the stick with my baby girl, but it didn't with my son.
2 different judges, 2 different opinions.
Okay, well there you have it. That's the help I need.
Yeah. So because you don't want to back yourself into a corner and make yourself look bad by comparing. You can't compare me with the other guy because I'm gonna be offended. You know what I'm saying? So you can't.
I'm thinking we working in the same system, that everything worked the same way. So okay, teach me something.
No, don't. And that's one of the things, guys. All of our issues I'm gonna tell you, everybody, I get this all the time. Man, I got the same problem my brother had, man. You helped him. I got the same problem my boy had, and you helped him. No, you ain't got the same problem because both of y'all got different women for one. Okay. So that's a different problem altogether. And then you have different judges who have different they see something different. That's what they call judges for. So I'm gonna get into this, guys. Let me show you something real quick. And I'm going to hold on one second. I'm going to show you this because I want you guys to know what this is all about and how we're going to address these issues. Okay. So going back to my presentation here, and I don't know, Tawana, you can mute. Oh, I can do it too.
Yes, I can mute everyone. That's no problem.
Okay, and we'll make sure that I'm not muted. Let me know.
No, you're not.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Guys, I really want you guys to know I kind of have seen and heard a lot of different things, but let's go about this here. So with our company, first thing you got to do, the next thing is we got to create a plan of action. And to eliminate some of your issues, we have combined and have a combo service that we can provide for you. Okay. Our creating a plan of action webinar is like $397. But then you also, with that, they give you a 1, 2, 3 step on what you need to do to address your issues and the information that needs to be on your motion. Like the last gentleman that I just spoke to, this here will be ideal service for you because you're in the objection period. Maybe, I don't really know, because you're not sure. So with the assessing, with the plan of action, we're going to get directly to the judge, to the friend of the court, through custom service. We're going to contact the supervisor so that we can get the actual information, because you don't have time to be wasting or starting all over unless that's what they told you to do. And then from there, you'll know if you need to have an attorney. Okay. My opinion. But your opinion is the one that matters most. My job is to get all the information so that you can actually have the right information to make a decision. So with the plan of action, it costs like $397 to do that. But today you get a special up until Friday midnight. Okay. Up until Friday midnight. So you'll text us tonight, 24 hours. You can text our office line number. And by the way, that number, if you can put it into the chat, it is 313-983-0044. Okay. That number again is 313-983-0044. And if you feel that you need to leave a voice message, do that as well. But let us know you'd like to move forward on it. Now, let me show you also this. We have the combo where basically if you were to do a payment for the motion, the plan of action webinar, the plan of action webinar is going to give us the ability to do the research, okay, to find out, to do the assessment, to know exactly what needs to be put on the motion, okay, and then the right motion. So you're going to have here the plan of action and the motion completion webinar, where it would normally be charged $794. But again, up until the close of business or midnight on Friday, you'll have it, whereas it'll be $597. You get $200 off of it. Okay. So, and this is not even the regular price of the individuals, because if you purchase them separately, it's more money for you. And we don't want to do that. And I want you guys to be successful. So we have put this combo together where you would have that particular motion along with the plan of action. Now, you may have this, might have more than one mother. Do you pay $594 or the $794? No, you don't. I don't do that because let me tell you the secret. The secret is that the same reason why I need to apply for child support reduction for one mother is the same reason I need to apply for the other mother. You just have to basically change the names and the case numbers on that case. Okay. So those are the ones that you want to do. And for our other cases that we have in arrears. If we were to do in arrears forgiveness or on a motion completion webinar for just arrears only, you would actually have to pay. And for example, if it's like I've had clients that's 49,000. I got another client today, $49,000 in back child support. If the money's owed to the state, then we can most likely get a payment plan. And that payment plan it ranges from $25 a month. I've even had clients who had to pay $300 a month, but it was for a end date. Okay, so some of them, we're doing one guy for $25 a month for 12 months. Okay, I've had some of those be approved. And we go low because why should you go out there and say, man, I'll pay $200 a month for 2 years and I'll be done with this? Good. I got you. I got you. No. If you have the type of income that you, like you say, you don't need to press yourself. You need to tell them exactly what you can do. And then from there, they will increase it if they think that the number should be more. Okay. So we have a payment plan to discharge arrears, and that's like $997. Okay. So you get that at a discounted rate. Basically, $200 off of that $997 will be $797. That's what you'll get on this particular webinar that you'll have. And then you have up until the end of the this week. Now, for my fathers who have to establish a case, and that was a gentleman, I believe, I don't know if that was Jason or not, but the those particular cases are individually case by case basis. So we want to make sure that you are going to call us and we'll discuss what that rate will be, because we don't want to charge you something that if you don't need it. And in some cases, guys, you don't need it. And I'm going to show you the other option for that. So you have two different things at this particular time. You have the motion completion plan of action webinar, and then you have the motion completion webinar with the motion being completed with the plan of action. So with that, we have other services too, but based on what I just spoke about, those are the services that you guys are qualifying for the services that we need to offer you. Okay. The parenting time is another one as well, but I want to make sure you all have what you need based on what you desire, based on your issues that you currently have. Okay. So at this particular point, what we want to do is make sure that if you're interested, you just contact the number inside the chat. Tawana's put that into the chat there.
Yes, it's present now.
Great. And you can text that, and you can text it tonight. I would like to go further with your services, friends and fathers. I'd like to get something scheduled, and then we can discuss further with you. I have a chat right now. It says, let me go back to that. Does FOF offers in office meetings when a
When aid is being rendered, or is everything done via Zoom?
Actually, there is other services that we can provide in person. There's a little more additional fee of service, but yes, we can talk to you about that as well. But a lot of this is virtual because a lot of you have the same type of issue, and it's best that we do it virtual for you as well. But I want to make sure that we are offering the services that you need. Yeah, it's truly way cheaper than getting an attorney, because attorneys, I work for attorneys as well. I have another company called JF Paralegal Staffing, and that company basically helps fathers and those particular clients. And it costs $3,500 for an attorney. At the very minimum, it's $2,500. But I know today, guys, the attorneys are starting off at $3,500, $3,000 at the least. Okay, especially dealing with the issues that we're talking about here on the call, like establishing the case is $3,000 because it's not a divorce. However, it can be that expensive. We can help you with establishing the case, turning it on, and also with divorces. Because guys, if you guys are not familiar, divorces can be expensive. $8,000 for some of these divorces. So Yeah, one gentleman just retained an attorney for $3,500, and that's before the court date. So again, thank you for, and I'm gonna tell you with that, if you have an attorney, I'm very careful about providing services to you. However, let me preface this. I'm a men's life coach. I can coach you. I can't give you legal advice, but that coaching services that I provide has helped my lawyers, and preparing those lawyers. That's gravy for them, man. They love to have someone that's astute and aware of what they're doing when they go to court. So I want you guys to, if you decide that you want to try us out, not try us out because ain't no try, we do. Okay, you try a taste test. We ain't no taste test. Okay, I ain't got no taste test. Don't try to serve for egg fried rice or whatever they call that in the malls. But Friends and Fathers has been very successful. I'm looking forward to helping you all. Again, I'm going to give you all that attended the replay, and I want you guys to give us a call if you want to move forward. And that number again is 313-983-0044. Again, I'm Joe Farley, your men's life coach. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll make sure that you get the edited version of our services. All right. Have a blessed night. Thank you.